Yeah, this your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. I'm gonna play something for you for my audience, so we can get a discussion going on, a conversation going, and I'm gonna play it for you right now. I'm gonna play this video. It was done a few years ago. It was a 911 call. This is how the system fails us. This is why black women need to be careful of who you marry, who you date, who you fucking, who you have children by. This is it. On application, and he hasn't been served, but I'm the person that's supposed to be served to is at the gas station, and I'm trying to leave the gas station. Okay, the one right there off the door cliff? Yeah. On the roof, yeah. Yeah. At 15428 Fourth Boulevard? Yeah. Okay. And is he there? Yeah. All right, do you work there or is he right there? No, I'm just coming to the store. What is his name? John Reagan. Okay. Do you happen to know the date of birth? August 15th, 1975. He's supposed to start with that order of protection that they have to get. Okay. And what does he look like? Black male, like 6 foot. What's he wearing? White tank top and that red short. And did he walk there? No, he's driving a black Cadillac. Is he in the car now or no? He's standing right by my truck. I can't get in my truck. Stop. Okay. What kind of truck do you drive? A white Ford Explorer. What did you say? Just great. What's your phone number that you called from? 803-229-5035? Yes. Okay. All right, Reagan, we'll go ahead and send a police officer out there, okay? All right. We'll send the officer, okay? Okay, thank you. They never came. They never came. Somebody's now on North Emergency.
This is our man out here at 45 apartment, 14523, number 4. I lived in the back of the
What's the street name?
old courthouse way.
Okay, what's going on?
They had a apartment out here, like it's cut on side. And when I lived in the back,
Yeah.
it looked like a bit of body, so like a bed, one boy.
Different news 911, where's your emergency? Yes, I need to put you in the Stony Brook jail. I have a order of protection, and it hasn't been served, but I'm the person that's supposed to be served to is at the gas station, and I'm trying to leave the gas. I just played the audio that's on YouTube. Somebody was so sick and deviant. They were trying to get money, and they played my former sister-in-law voice, Sergeant Crystal Reagan. She was asking for police assistance. This woman was a veteran, a military veteran. She was with the Army, National Guard, Reserves. This woman was killed in cold blood. August 2011, Newport News, Virginia. And for those of y'all that think I'm lying about this woman was my sister-in-law. She was married to my brother, divorced my brother, married John Moses Reagan, the killer of her, my niece Sierra, my nephew Laquan, my nephew Rashid. And when they found the bodies in that house, in that apartment, unsubscribable. So this is what I'm talking about, you young women. You go out here, you fucking this man, you dating that man, you marrying that man. Don't marry anyone that is not your father, the father of your children. Protect your children. I knew Crystal way before that time. I met Crystal when she was a teenager. I was already in my 20s. This was just before I went to fucking prison. She married my brother Michael, divorced my brother Michael, and married some fucking clown. And he decided to kill her. See, this is what we're facing, young women on YouTube, women on Facebook, Instagram, in the real world. This is what we are facing every fucking day. Every fucking day. When I wake up in the morning, I think about them. I don't think about me because I don't have no children. Like Quan and Sierra told me years ago they were my children. I thought everything was going to be fine, even after she divorced my brother Michael. She divorced my brother and married a fucking clown. She had an order of protection. The order of protection didn't protect her. Nothing protected her. She had to protect herself. And I remember when I got that phone call, I was living in New York, Yonkers, New York, Saratoga Avenue. And I got the phone call 10:30 that night. My younger sister called me and told me my people were taken out of here. I thought it was a car accident. No. A drop shot, no name, or brand nigga killed her. I live with this anger every day. Every day I wake up. I remember when they first passed away, I kept thinking, they not really dead. They gonna come back. They did. They're in Florence, South Carolina, at the military cemetery over there. They are buried with my adoptive parents. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. You want me to play it again? I will play that audio again if I have to. But I don't need to. Not in this video. And this is not why I get drunk. This is not why I'm so angry, but I am angry with the world. And I take it out on everyone around me. Birdman, anybody is a close target. He knows what I'm going through. That's why he's been calling me for the last 3 mornings. Calling me to check on me. Because he knows how serious I get about certain people in my life. And he watched me on the YouTube app, watch for other people on this app. Now, I don't mean no harm, but I am going to say again, the young women that are young, you're thinking about dating someone, you're thinking about marrying someone, you better find out who that person is. Crystal Sargent Reagan, my former sister-in-law, I lived with her. I lived with her for a few months. And when I left from her house, you know what she told me? Don't you worry about nobody else. You worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about nobody else. Don't pay nobody else no money. Don't support nobody. You love who you want to love. But be warned. And it's a reality for me. Sergeant Crystal Reagan, she had children that died that day along with her. Sierra, Laquan, Rashid. When they found Rashid was 6 years old, stabbed over 27 times. When they found Sierra, she was burned beyond recognition. When they found Sergeant Crystal Reagan, she was almost decapitated. Shout out to the chat. This is reality for me. I just played you an audio that's on YouTube. You can find it. Pull up the name, Sergeant Crystal Reagan, and it will show you her vehicle that she drove just before she died. Shout out to the chat. And guess what happened to Sergeant Crystal Reagan family after that? The mother died 3 years later. The cousin that raised Sergeant Crystal Reagan, she died that same month they died. My mother, the mother that raised me, she died in 2019. She never forgot that day. She said, Arabia, always remember that day. Use it as your strength. Use it as your shield. Use it as your sword. And do whatever you got to do. That's why I work so hard. That's why I do what I need to do. That's why I don't care about what nobody say about me. They can talk all the shit they want about me. Only thing I got to do is go back into this goddamn phone and play it all over again.
Okay, the one right there after Thorncliffe? Yeah. Yeah. At 15428 Fourth Boulevard? Yeah. Okay. And is he there? Yeah. All right. Do you work there or is he work there? No, I'm just coming to the store. All right. What is his name? John Reagan. Okay. You happen to know his date of birth? August 15, 1975. He's still starting with that order of protection. They have it here. Okay. And what does he look like? Black widow, like 6 foot. What's he wearing? White tank top and red shorts.
She described him totally. The police never caught him that night. They came to the house, they came to the location, then they left. She had an order of protection. That's why I'm angry with the police. That's why I'm angry with any kind of district attorney, any judges, any jury. Because when they found this man guilty, they didn't give him life in prison. Oh no, we voted for the death penalty for his black ass. That's why I keep telling the black men, if you fuck with me, I'ma taper your black ass down. And I mean it. Now, we're going to listen to the rest of the audio. We're going to listen.
He walked there? No, he's driving a black Cadillac. Is he in the car now or no? He's standing right by my truck. I can't get in my truck. Stop lying. What kind of truck do you drive? A white Ford Explorer. Okay. And what is your name, ma'am? Just Reagan. Okay. This is your phone number that you called from? 803-229-5035? Yes. Okay. All right, Reagan, we'll go ahead and send a police officer out there, okay? All right. We'll send the officer, okay?
They sent the police, but the police didn't do nothing. She had an order of protection. That's why I'm telling you, young women on YouTube, stop with the bullshit with these young men. Stop it. They're not the father of your children. If you know this man is a clown, a drug dealer, a killer of some sort, do not get with him. Protect you and your children. Protect you and your children. I don't have any children. I'm not faced with this dilemma. But other women around me has been faced with this dilemma. My grandmother, my mother, my aunts, my cousins, my sisters. We all been faced with this dilemma. I'm the only one without children, but this could happen to me. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat.
Okay, thank you.
They never came.
Two minutes now on what's your birthday?
Yeah, this is our man down here at 4-5 apartment. 14523, number 4. I lived in the back of the
What's your street name?
old courthouse way.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, the apartment down here.
That's an address in Newport News, Virginia. They were murdered August of 2011. Newport News, Virginia. Look it up. It was all over the news. John Moses Reagan is the killer. That's why I don't like young men from South Carolina. I don't. I mostly want to date dudes from New Jersey and New York. Some South Carolina niggas slip in, but they gotta be much older. They can't be young like him. Shout out to the chat. This is my warning to every young woman that feels that you gonna date some man you don't know nothing about. You better taper down and realize you can be a victim just like her. When they found Sergeant Crystal Reagan, she was almost decapitated. When they found her, her cell phone was clutched in her hand. And who was calling her on that cell phone? Her mother. When the detectives got there, and I got the full report, when the detectives got there, the phone was ringing in her hand. They took it out of her hand. They had to break her fingers. And they talked to Miss Linda Franklin. Linda Franklin is no longer here. She is dead. She died 3 years after their deaths. Ma Boone died the same month they died. My family was never the same. And that John Moses Reagan, he thought he was so slick. He took his child, the child he had with Sergeant Crystal Reagan, and went to South Carolina. And then that's when my brothers and them came in full swing. The 5 percenters, they circled around my mother's house for 3 days. 3 days, 3 nights, no sleep. They circled around. And when they found John Moses Reagan, he was found with his child in the house. His parents pretended like they didn't know what was going on. They knew. They fucking knew. I'm warning every young woman that's dating anyone, man or woman, look real close and be careful. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. I just wanted to come up here real close and do this video for y'all. And And these were my people that died in 2011. When I wake up, I think of them. I think of them before I think of anything else, before I think of my bills, before I think of the rent, before I think about anything else. And I go out into the world and do what I must do. Shout out to the chat. But it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It is what it is. The universe called it at that time. My mother was never the same again. The woman that raised me was never the same again. She changed. She became afraid. She became more frightened. And I'm so sorry. I'm out of here. Y'all talk amongst each other. Share and like the video. Talk about domestic violence. Talk about child abuse. Talk about how to be careful and cautious of who you're dating, who you surround yourself with. Because your biggest rival, your biggest enemy is not on YouTube, is not the person on your job, it's usually someone that's in your bed sheets, in your house, in your arms, sharing the kitchen area, the bathroom area. That's why I only date one man. Now that I'm on my own, I only date one man. That's Birdman. I know how he get down. I don't fuck with nobody else. I don't bring nobody else to my house. I entertained that thought, but some told me don't do that again. I'm 50 years old. Sergeant Crystal Reagan, when she got out of here, she was 32 years old. I was 38 when she passed away. Rest in peace, my baby. Rest in peace, my babies. Sergeant Crystal Reagan, Sierra, Laquan, Rashid. But I remember when I was living with Sergeant Crystal Reagan years ago, way before this bullshit happened. And Sierra and Laquan came to me and they said, Aunt Arabia, we know you never gonna have no children. We know you never gonna get married. It's fine with us. We are your children. We are your family. Wherever families we have, come into your house. My house is empty. Thanks to a clown. And thanks to Sergeant Crystal Reagan for picking the wrong man. Picking the wrong man at the wrong day, in the wrong vibe, and the wrong emotion. A lot of our young women are living with emotions, anger emotions. We got to start addressing it. We got to. If not, it is what it is. Good evening to everyone. Hope everyone has an awesome day. I'm sorry I had to bring this out to you, but this is why I am who I am. This is a part of my life. This is a part of my existence. This is my life. This is my nightmare. This is my hell on earth. Thank God I'm feeling it by myself. If you feel it, I'm sorry. Let's get the message out. Get these young women and young men together. Get conversation going on. Let's stop this domestic violence. All this marriage, bad marriages going on. Because the only thing she wanted was a simple divorce from that clown. And he felt threatened. That's why he killed her. He killed her in cold blood. And you know what he did before he killed her? He called my two sisters, the two sisters I grew up with, and confronted them on the phone. And he said what he said. And that's why my sisters went to that house. They was banging down the door. They were trying to break in. They called the police. They had everyone out there. It was up to Sergeant Crystal Reagan. And she made the wrong decision. Shut up.